Have you ever tried to call a number and it felt like the number itself was a ghost? Not busy. Not no answer. Not even voicemail. Just nothing. No ring. No connection. Or a message that says, "This number is not in service." But here's the part most people don't realize. Sometimes the number should exist. It looks normal. It follows the pattern. It even appears on signs, receipts, or old documents. And yet, when you dial it, it's like the call disappears. Tonight, we're talking about numbers that don't exist. Why certain phone numbers are impossible. Why some numbers are intentionally blocked. And why entire ranges can vanish without most people ever noticing. And near the end, I'll show you something that makes this way more unsettling. Sometimes a number doesn't exist, not because of a glitch, but because someone decided it shouldn't. The moment you notice something's wrong, picture this. You're reading a number off a poster, or you find an old business card in a drawer, or you see a phone number printed on a sin maybe. Outside a building, you dial it carefully, one digit at a time, and nothing works. You try again, same result, then you look closer. The number seems normal. It's the right length. It has a real area code. It looks official. So why doesn't it connect? Your brain immediately goes to the dramatic explanation. It's fake. It's a scam. It's a trap. It's a secret line. Sometimes those are true, but most of the time, the real answer is more technical and more interesting. Truth number 1. Not every possible number is allowed to exist. Here's the first thing to understand. Even though a phone number looks like a simple string of digits, it isn't just math. Phone numbers are managed like territory. Governments, regulators, and phone companies control which number blocks can be used and which ones are forbidden. So you can dial something that looks perfectly real, but it's sitting inside a range that's reserved. That means the system will reject it instantly. And there are a lot of reasons a range can be reserved. Reason number 1. Special service numbers. Numbers held back on purpose. Some ranges are reserved for specific services. For example, certain numbers are used for testing phone lines, internal carrier systems network, routing emergency services infrastructure, technical service codes. These aren't meant for regular public use. So if you try to call one, you'll get nothing or error. It feels like the number is dead, but really it's protected. It's like trying to open a door that was never built for the public. Reason number 2. Fake numbers used in movies and TV so real people don't get harassed. This one is surprisingly common. Movies and shows can't just use random real numbers, because if they do, thousands of viewers might call it. So in many countries, there are reserved number ranges specifically meant to be safe to display publicly. They look real, but they go nowhere. That's why you can see a number on a screen that feels like it should work and it never will. It's not broken. It's designed that way. Reason number 3. Numbers get retired after abuse, scams, or harassment. Now here's where things get darker. Sometimes numbers disappear because they were abused. A number might be linked to harassment campaigns, scam operations, robocalls, impersonation attempts, doxing, or stalking incidents. If a number becomes a magnet for abuse, carriers can shut it down, block it, or flag it so it can't be used. Easily again. Even if the number technically exists in a database, to the public, it becomes unreachable. It becomes erased. Reason number 4. Businesses die, but the numbers live on like ghosts. This is the most realistic haunting you'll ever see. A business closes. A landlord changes. A building gets sold. The sign stays up. And the number printed on that sign stops working. But the number doesn't vanish from history. It stays in old screenshots, old directories, saved contacts receipts, PDF documents, archived websites. So you might find a number that looks official, but is connected to a company that no longer exists. The number becomes a ghost line. And if that number gets recycled later, it can become even stranger, because you might call it expecting one thing and reach something completely different. Reason number 5. Number recycling. The creepiest normal thing. Let's talk about the most unsettling normal feature of phone systems. Phone numbers get reused. If someone stops paying, closes a line, or cancels a contract, the number can eventually go back into circulation, which means one day, a number that used to belong to a dentist's office can belong to a random person or a completely different business. So people dial the old number, and suddenly they reach a stranger. That alone creates endless creepy stories. I called my old friend's number and someone else answered. I called a dead relative's phone and a different person picked up. I reached a new owner who had no idea about the number's history. It's not supernatural. It's recycling. But it feels wrong because the number carries memory. Reason number 6. Why some numbers can't be assigned at all. Now, here's the part most people never think about. Not all numbers are assignable. Some are blocked because they look like emergency services or official codes. Some are blocked because they create confusion in the network. Some are blocked because they match internal routing patterns. And some are blocked because regulators reserve them for future expansion. So entire blocks can be missing even though, on paper, they're possible. This is why a number can look like it should exist, but it's never been allowed to. The psychological twist. Missing numbers create paranoia. Here's why this topic hits so hard. When something is missing, people assume intent. If a number doesn't work, you think, who disconnected it? Why is it blocked? What's behind it? Because missing information feels like someone is hiding something, and sometimes that instinct is right, the part they don't tell you. Some numbers are blocked by design and you'll never know. There are cases where calls are blocked silently. For example, corporate security systems that reject unknown callers, fraud prevention filters, spam detection networks, region-based call blocks, private phone systems that don't allow outside dialing. Sometimes you don't even get an error message. It just fails. It feels like the call disappears, and that's when the mystery gets personal. You can't tell if the number is dead, blocked, filtered, or hidden. It's the same feeling as a missing address on a map. A system says this doesn't exist, but you can't prove it. How to tell what you're dealing with? Quick reality checks. If you ever run into a number that doesn't exist, here are the fast checks. Check the number format. Does it match the country region pattern? Search the number online. Old listings, archived sites, directories can reveal history. Try calling from a different network. Sometimes blocks are carrier specific. Try texting instead of calling. Some lines block calls but allow SMS. Look for safe ranges if it's a number from a movie. It's probably intentionally unreachable. Most of the time, you'll find a simple reason. But sometimes, you won't. And that's when it becomes a true Midnight Files mystery. Otro, setia. Like and subscribe so the next time you dial a number and it feels like the call vanishes. Remember, it might be reserved. It might be retired. It might be recycled. It might be blocked. Or it might be something that was never meant to exist in the first place. Now I want to hear from you. Have you ever called a number that seemed real, but went nowhere? Or called a number expecting one thing, and reached something completely different? Drop your story in the comments. And if you enjoyed this episode, hit like and subscribe because Midnight Files is just getting started.